Can you say your name into the orange light?
Welcome to Bryan's Paranormal Travels.
Good morning, paranormal travelers. I'm at a pretty incredible place today. I'm really happy to be here. I am in Auvers-sur-Oise in France. Does that name sound familiar to you in the least? If not, that's okay. I'll make you familiar with it real quick. This building I'm standing at, it's closed right now, but this building I'm standing at, let me cross the road. That is the building where in the attic room, Vincent van Gogh passed away. This is where he died from a gunshot wound. Right inside there. I'm coming back later and I will attempt to film inside. I don't know if it's allowed or not, but I have an appointment to enter the building later today, and I'm hopeful that I can get inside. So there's a plaque up there dedicated to Vincent van Gogh between the windows. And here's a few pictures from 1890. Okay. So I drove here and I arrived here yesterday evening. So I'm walking up right now where I am here before sunrise. So right now where I am walking before sunrise, this is right here where the inn was, where he passed away. I'm behind it now where this wall is. And I'm just walking up this path and I see this large painting, this large canvas rather, of Van Gogh's last painting, which we're going to see in a moment. So I'm walking through here. This is where I'll go in later to see if I could get into the inn itself and see the room where Van Gogh lived for the time he was here. Van Gogh was extremely prolific while he's here, and as you can see, these paintings on the walls that are on these frames that are set up here are to show you exactly where Van Gogh painted. For example, before I go up, and I want to get up to the site where he was last alive, so to speak. Well, really, actually, before the sun comes up. But I want to show you this real quick as I'm walking by. So this painting right here is actually of this staircase over here as it twists up. You can see it right there. Right there. The staircase is right behind me. As you can see, it has the curve in it, the same as the painting. So sometimes you wonder when you see these paintings, what is Van Gogh seeing? Is the staircase really in a curve, or is that just something he's adding? No, the staircase actually does curve. And I've seen that question about Van Gogh's artwork before, is people wonder, is that the reality, or is that some kind of, something he's adding for flair or for design or whatever, from his imagination. And actually, the staircase actually is that way, so that's something that's visible and you can see and verify. So my next stop, I'm walking towards, it's not very far from here, is the church that Van Gogh painted. It's there are some claims or legends or myths about Van Gogh that he is seen walking by the church, and whenever somebody approaches him, he vanishes. The same legend is above. Oh, there's a cat. She thought she was all alone out here. So this same legend is up at the Wheatfields. Well, this claim, call it a legend or a myth. And I saw somebody out there last night, and that made me think, sometimes maybe people are seeing another person walking, because there's a lot of walkers in this town, especially tourists. So it is possible to mistake somebody walking along but since the claim goes further and says they approach him and he vanishes, that kind of takes that away. In some cases, I can imagine, because yesterday I did see a figure out there and it turned out to be an actual person. All right, so coming up to the church, I'm really looking forward to this part of this trip. Really, I'm going to get my EMF out because this is one of the big claims. Look at this. Look how incredible this looks from here. Wow. It looks really majestic and imposing from this angle. Isn't it beautiful? So it's still close. I'm up here early. Wow, I love the view, especially with the mist this morning. If ever there was a morning to see an apparition, it would be this morning. Spooky little light in there. The path I'm walking now is where they say they see a tall, lanky figure with a hat and a coat walking right here, basically dressed the way he was dressed back in the times he was here. Now, a lot of people know how Vincent van Gogh looked. I have to say, it's pretty amazing to be here in a location where Vincent van Gogh spent the last days of his life. And it's quite interesting to see how the town celebrates him when in fact he was considered rude and off-putting, and a lot of people didn't like him, and he was even bullied in this town. And yet here we are with a statue dedicated to Van Gogh. In fact, nearly the whole town is dedicated to him now. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's other artists that come here and dress similar to him. But again, I don't want to speculate or take away from anybody's experience here. But who knows? And I'm far from someone that wants to say there's no apparition, because it could be. They say that Van Gogh's energy is imprinted on this town. This one is one of the most mysterious, and the one that he painted just before he died. So, and I'm going to show you. Vincent, are you out here? Are you still here? People say they see you. Is it you? If it's you, could you answer? So So far no EMF. I only got a little bit of EMF yesterday by his cemetery, especially when I said his name. So what I want to do is I want to show you the painting of this church. They have it posted over here, and I want to show you why people think this is one of his darker paintings. And it's no surprise really that this church would not conduct his funeral. They would not allow him to rest in the funeral, in his coffin, for people to come and visit. The pastor here said no. So this is the church. And just look, it almost looks like a haunted house, doesn't it? It has a strange energy. And many people who have come here and they've stood here, they try to feel the energy that's in this painting. And if they stand long enough out here, they feel an ominous presence. Or ominous is not really the right word. Let's say a strange presence. I read one person online said it was ominous, but I would say it's more mystical and strange. After all, it is a church. But it's kind of like interesting that this church denied him last rites in the church. So what I want to do is I want to walk over here and see if I can feel what other people are feeling. I'm just going to stand here for a moment. Wow. Looks like there's more light in the LCD than there is actually out here. It's not even sunrise yet, but it's coming in just about 30 or 40 minutes from now. So as I'm standing here, it's on a slant and it's very imposing. It's more imposing from the other side, but it does have this, it's much larger than I imagined. When I looked at the painting originally and I saw pictures of it online, it did not seem so large. It seemed much smaller than this. Wow. Goodness. There is a strong vibe here, I gotta say. I won't say, you know, I have to have respect for the church. I don't want to give it a bad reputation or anything. But I do agree there is a strange, ominous feeling here. And I'm outside the church, I'm not inside. I hope to get inside the church later and I'll see how that feels. But as you can see, I got no EMF. So no one really knows what happened to Van Gogh. He was up here in the wheat fields and he had all of his equipment with him. He had his canvas, he had his paints, he had his toolbox with all of his paints and everything. And so it was quite a large load that he carried around with him around Auvers for the time he was here. And like I said, he painted 74, 75 paintings in a very short time that he was here. Like, I think it was less than it was about 2 months or so. And he was really prolific. So he had everything with him. And he came up here maybe to paint the fields again. And he had a normal day. He had breakfast with the family of the inn he was staying at. They said everything was normal. He went out like he always does. And then he came back late. And he went up to his attic room Didn't say a word, but he was clutching his stomach. And finally, the owner checked in on him and found out he had been shot. And Vincent van Gogh said he wounded himself. He didn't say anything more or worse than that. Now, 2 days later, when he was pretty much out of his mind and he was blanking in and out, he later told the police that he believed maybe he did something, that maybe he did it to himself intentionally. He said maybe he believed. But it didn't make any sense, and he already said he just accidentally wounded himself, pretty much. And I think that's actually what happened. And then when the police finally got there, he was pretty much almost out of it. He was dying. So you can imagine, when you're blacking out and you don't really recall what happened anymore. And then you're like, well, maybe I did. But that's what I think. I think he had an accident out here because, I don't want to go too far into it. There's so many conspiracies about it. So many, what people believe or have fancifully put together, the puzzle pieces. There's even a book that has a really, really in-depth breakdown that some local boys were involved and that it might have been accidental or it might have been intentional. It's all speculation. The sad fact is, up here, he was shot, and just a couple days later, he died from his wound. He was only 37 years old. So you can imagine the shock of it happening up here. And for people to say they see him walking out here or standing in the Wheatfield, that's possible. Sometimes, like residual hauntings, like a person will imprint their energy on a space. Because he was up here a lot painting. And I'm about to show you his last painting, which is right here. Now, some say he had the revolver to shoot into the air so the crows would fly, and that's why he had one. Nobody really knows why he would have a revolver or if he really had one or not, but apparently he must have if he got, if that happened to him. So, see this path leading there? Let's take a look. If the fields were full right now, you might see this. Look at that. So you have the path running through it. Again, not imagination or fantasy. There is an actual path right there. And it does curve up, further up. And this is where the fields will go. And this Easter just passed, so the fields are just now starting to grow. In fact, that one over there has just been planted, I believe. How beautiful, beautiful is this? And Van Gogh, this is where he would come and he would paint. And you can already see the sunrise coming in the distance. Oh, there's like a strange mystical mist in front of me. I hope it's on the camera. It's really incredible. God, this is so beautiful. It's so spooky at the same time. I'm taking my time. I hope you don't mind, because I really want to feel the vibe out here. In my imagination, I could see him looking for the right spot. And I could see how, like right here when I look this way, I don't know how well it comes across on camera, but it's incredibly beautiful. If I was a painter, I probably would paint the sun coming across the sky right now as it rises, the trees, the field. And if you want the crows, what would you do? You'd have a revolver, you'd shoot it, and the crows would fly into the air. I can hear them. As soon as I said that, I heard crows. And there goes one flying right across there. Oh, and another one already. There we go. But if you wanted to get a bunch of them up at one time, what would you do? Exactly. So I think it was accidental. I don't think he would come out with all of his gear just to do something like that. And he really didn't have he had no significant others in the town. He was here by himself. He loved his brother dearly. And he kept writing letters to his brother to come live here with him, that this would be a great place for him to raise his child, to Theo. They were very, very close. And that is why the widow from Theo, although he died in Holland in Utrecht, oh, look at this. That's really, look how it starts right there. So he died in Utrecht and he was buried in Utrecht, but the widow decided to have his remains sent here to the cemetery. And the cemetery actually is at the end of the path, all the way down there where that wall is. That is the cemetery. Buried next to Van Gogh, to Vincent. That's how close they were. So it really seems odd that he would do something like that to himself when he had so much to look forward to. I know there had been falling outs between him and his brother, but all siblings have falling outs at some point or another. That doesn't mean you go up here and you do something horrible, you know? No. At least I hope not. So I've had the EMF out the entire time, and so far I haven't really got anything. I do have my phone on silent. I have the Spirit app on. I haven't looked at any of the words. Not yet. But I'm going to turn it up now that I've had a chance to walk here in the quiet. Oh, look at the church right there. Can you see it? It's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. I'm panning slowly, just in case this apparition's really out here. Okay. I just heard a voice. Literally in my right ear, I heard a voice. In all seriousness, I hope it's on camera. Could have sworn I just heard it again. Hello? Vincent, is that you? Are you still suffering? That crow flapped its wings hard when I asked if Van Gogh was still suffering. Wow. So one of the reasons why, so mysterious, but one of the reasons why people say that Vincent van Gogh is still here, that he still walks the town, that he still paints the landscape, even in the ever after, even if it's just residually, is his last words. In his last words, and I'm reading it now to you. It's just so sad to even read them. His last words to his brother Tio on earth: the sadness will last forever. Those were his last words to his brother. I mean, that almost sounds like literary art, but it's not. It's the reality. It's what Vincent said to his brother Tio. The sadness will last forever. What did he mean by that? I mean, he wasn't well, but he was only 37 years old. He was so young. And he had serious mental problems prior to coming here. And the psychiatric clinic where he was checked out of said he was cured. So it's really, man, and I guess the sadness will last forever. For us as, admirers of his work, those that know his story, yeah, the sadness will last forever, I guess. So let's see, using our thermal imaging. Oh, what do we get? Can you help? Tell me how I can help and I'll try. So look what we have here. We have a thermal imaging camera. Oh, not camera, but a FLIR. And we're going to see if we get any. Okay, that is the stone. You can see the stone and the cross. And we're going to go this way. Nice and slowly. I'm not sure how this is coming across on the camera. I hope it's clear. Get a little closer. So far, I haven't really spotted any anomalies.
Inspiration.
So the question is, where exactly has he been spotted? Just
That was him.
that was him. I didn't see him. So the spirit app just said that was him. Where? Okay, there was a moment over here where I thought I saw something, but it just turned out to be, as far as I know, that stone right there. So yeah, that wasn't anything. That was okay. So far, I haven't picked up anything. And it is believed that he was right here in this area, either where he painted his last painting, which could be, but the painting is actually over there, which is easier access for people, but to walk, our tourists rather, to come walk this way. And this one is a little further off, where you come to the beginning of the woods here. Wow, I just got a real cold chill here, and I'm going to use the word, and I'm starting to agree with people. It is ominous. Okay, I turned on the EMF now. Oh my God! And for the first time, well, the second time actually, it was at the cemetery. So I just got the brightest hit ever so far that I've been in this town. I was here yesterday.
Mess.
Let's. I got the word let's. So not so much that way, but walking this way. There it goes. So I'm literally getting a chill as I walk this path here. It's really, really spooky, I have to tell you. What the heck was that? What the heck was that? I just heard a bang over here. I just want to hurry up in case there's a person. There's no person standing here. I hope that was captured on. Wow, could that be a residual haunting? The gunshot? I hope that was on camera. This microphone does not pick up from a distance. Whoa, I just got a really strong hit on the...
Creativity.
I just got creativity. Was it here where it happened? I am not kidding. I heard what sounded like a gunshot. It wasn't super loud, so wow, look at this. So I'm going to continue going this way. This was the direction that I heard it. Well, if we come across painting gear and stuff, I'm going to freak out. I have so many chills right now. I cannot even begin to describe. Look how ominous it looks. I don't want to get another tick, so I'm not going to walk through there. But that's a dead end. Wow, this is ominous. As all get out. Look how beautiful, though. No wonder painters have flocked here. What word did I get? Horribles. That doesn't even make sense. Okay, so let's walk back up. I'm telling you, I don't know what happened right here, but I sincerely have the feeling Van Gogh was here. And that this was a special spot. So I'm going to turn back on the... Man, it's like really, really weird. Actually, the feeling I have here...
Be fearful.
Be fearful? Why do you want to scare me? I was just about to say. Okay, I just took a picture. Sorry, I was focused on this. I couldn't show the camera because I was focused on trying to take an image.
Rituals here.
Rituals here. So I got like this strange blue spot over there. Okay, so now the trees are coming into focus. They weren't in focus in my image.
Virgin.
So all I was getting was a blue spot just a moment ago. Was that you, Vincent? Are you here? So yeah, the feeling here now is very similar. Oh my God, is that a person right over there? Oh no, I didn't mean to turn it off. I have to turn it back on.
protecting you.
Thank you. Why? What danger am I in? Okay, so I gotta back up. So there was something right over here. The hell was that? Was there an animal just there? I hope that was on camera, but I think it was an animal. And it's not focusing. Is there an animal in the tree there? What is that? It's like a cold spot up on the tree. I don't know what that is, if any. I just got leave, like a warning, and I've got chills all over me right now. What the hell is going on here? I hope the microphone is picking all this up all of a sudden. What the hell? I can only imagine.
Right now.
First it said leave, now it's saying leave right now. And the chills I have. The hell? Who's out here? Why do you want me to leave? I just heard a voice. I'm hearing footsteps. Medicine. Do you need medicine? Okay, I'm gonna turn off the thermal imaging for a moment. I literally just heard footsteps. I don't see anybody out here, but just for a moment there when it was telling me to leave, there was a flurry of activity. Most likely animals, but very strange, because animals aren't likely just to approach a human. I hate when that happens. Hello? I have goosebumps up and down my back right now. This is a really, really spooky area. And the EMF in my hand was going off, but I was holding it close to the camera. I don't think that's what triggered it, but it's possible. Right now let's walk back this way. Wow, the chills. Are you here now? If you are, what'd I get? You are resourceful. Do you know what this is? Can you touch the green light for me?
Experiment.
Experiment. Yes, I am conducting an experiment. You're right. Is that you, Vincent? Can you touch this green light now?
Gaining more energy.
Oh! It said gaining more energy and the EMF spiked. Oh my God. I have literal chills, folks. I can't explain what I'm experiencing right here. I'm in the flight mode where I want to run out of here right now. It is super strong. Vincent, I am so sorry for what happened to you. Is this where it happened? Where the cross is? All the hair on the back of my neck just stood. I have a chill going up my spine that I cannot even describe. But once I said cross, it just shot up. So that's you, Vincent? Oh, look. Sunrise. It's sunrise. Would you paint the sunrise? Look. How beautiful is that?
Kenneth.
Oh, this is incredible.
Violet.
Violet. This is just so incredible. I feel so privileged to be here right now at sunrise like this.
Alive.
Alive. I am thankful to be alive. I wish you were too, but you couldn't be because natural causes would have gotten you at some point. Oh my God, this is so beautiful. And the sunrise is just gorgeous. I'm going back. I hope you could feel what I feel through the camera. Oh yes, I am hesitating. You're absolutely right. If you're watching this, I am hesitating. It's like I'm entering a portal now. I don't know another way to really describe it other than I just heard something over there. Other than a portal. Doesn't it seem that way? I'm back, Vincent. Are you still here? There's such a cold breeze right here.
Sacrifice.
I'm so sorry, Vincent. That word really relates.
Relation.
Relation. Okay. I was just thinking something as that came up, and I'm going to explain it. I have to walk away from this clearing. It is really intense. So I just got the word sacrifice, and then I got the word relation. And so I want to explain a little something about Vincent and Theo right now. Wow, walking back out here, and the sun's really coming up in the sky now. So here's the thing about that. The word sacrifice and relation is incredibly relevant. Oh, the wind, that breeze is so cold. Just as I said that. So I got the word sacrifice, and then I got the word relation. So you know what happened to Van Gogh and the suspicion that he did it to himself. So I just got the word sacrifice, and then I got the say relation. Now, Van Gogh, there is a theory about Vincent, and actually in his letters to Theo, it's pretty much confirmed that he felt he was a burden on his brother. So, did he make a sacrifice for his brother in the ultimate way? I hope not. That would be so sad. But those two words really match, and especially in this spot to get those words. So that makes a lot of sense, those two words, extremely relevant for right here. And the breeze is just, it's so cold. So now that I explained that, I was a little concerned about the wind noise on the microphone, so I wanted to walk out of there. I mean, just think about it. It's just, wow. Okay, I want to show you now the sun and the mist. Let's walk back up here. I think I've showed it enough, and it's really violet. Look over there. What's violet? Those trees. Violet. And I got the word violet earlier. I couldn't see them because it was too dark out here. I know in the LCD there's more light, but it was really dark out here and I could not see the violet. Wow. How beautiful is this, folks? Good morning, paranormal travelers. Day 3 in the last location where Van Gogh painted for 70 days, 74 paintings, and maybe 75 now. And I'm going to explain the 75th in just a moment. But this is the once town hall right here. Van Gogh had painted. I just showed you right here. 14th of July, 1890, which is just over a week before Van Gogh died. I was in here yesterday and I went to the room that Van Gogh rented, where he stayed his entire stay here, and it's the room where he died. And I have to tell you, that room, if you ever come here and you are able to go into the inn, because you can get inside, but they're guided tours. I was not allowed to film, but this is what I'll tell you. If you can come here, or you do come here, it's worth going into the room. But I will tell you this, it might not be what anyone expects. It is so oppressive in that room that it's almost suffocating. The room is tiny. I can't imagine how anybody could stay in there a couple days, much less a couple months or weeks. It was just really, now here's the thing, it was really tiny, it was really humid, really oppressive, and this is still April. It's not really even hot yet. But is it oppressive because of the tragedy and the residual haunting, or intelligent haunting? As I was in there with this other woman and we were listening to the tour guide, there was a moment where that woman, she just kind of let out a little bit of a shriek, she's like, whoo! And the tour guide asked her, what happened? And she said nothing, but when we came out of the room, she whispered over to me, something grabbed my hand. And I looked at her, I was like, do you mean something touched you? Because of course, you know me, I'm open-minded to that, and I'm thinking of that already, so it just came out, and she was kind of surprised that I even said that. She didn't know who I am or anything like that, but she said she felt like somebody touched her hand. Was it Van Gogh? Was Van Gogh still in that room? Is Van Gogh still in that room? I don't know, but what I can tell you, if you ever come here and you go in that room, let me know how it feels to you. It certainly, to me, feels incredibly oppressive. Very, oh man. even if you don't have mental or psychological problems, you stay in that room long enough, you might wind up having them. It's really just not a comfortable feeling at all. And depending on what Van Gogh's state of mind was when he passed away, if he's in there stuck in that state, one can only imagine how it must be that it's affecting the room and the inn, because the entire inn does have kind of a odd feel to it, but that room was just wow. Okay, so where I'm bringing us right now, I'm walking, I'm talking, is okay, the sister-in-law to Van Gogh, Vincent, found a draft painting, and for years and years and years nobody knew what the painting was. And since it was a draft, or they thought it was a draft, they thought it was an unfinished work and that it was his last work, or at least that's what they're saying. Now, Van Gogh had lots of drafts of letters, of paintings, of sketches, and things like that, you know? That doesn't mean they were their last. I have drafts of books that I haven't finished. None of them are the last one. The last book I wrote, I finished. So just because something's a draft doesn't mean it's the last, is what I'm trying to say. A draft could have been made months, even years prior. So I think it's kind of a stretch to say, but I don't know that it is a draft. I'm looking at it right now and I'm going to show it to you. So it's this painting here. And nobody knew what it was of. But it's of roots, they say now. That it's of roots, and it's specifically of the roots here. And in fact, this is behind a fence, because if you go behind this gate, you can go on a tour up to the Wheatfield where I was yesterday. It is very interesting, and I guess they were, I don't know, I guess they were looking at this roots and they decided because of this arch that was here in this painting. I can't even just, because looking at this, I don't see that. But I think if I looked hard enough, I could find a spot in it that would match it. But I am not somebody who has any authority in that, so don't take my word for it. I'm up even earlier this morning because something really, really strange happened yesterday, and it kind of scared me. So what happened was I decided I wanted to try and walk inside of Van Gogh's painting. That's just a metaphor, so to speak, because I wanted to walk up these stairs here, the winding stairs that Van Gogh painted. And so, as if to speak and say, oh, I walked through his painting. If I'm going to be more specific, I'm walked where he painted, which I've done a few times here, but this one seems more like you're in it, to be honest. I don't know how well you can see it this morning. I don't want to turn my flashlight on because I'm in the town still. But what happened was, so I walked up the stairs, and I'm nervous, but I'm going to do it again right now. And I'm going to turn on there is one street lamp right up there. And there's one way back there, but I don't see one at the top. So I'm walking up. Oh, wow. I haven't got a lot of EMF this trip. But I'm walking up the stairs and you can see there's no lights. I'm just out in the middle of these flowers on the staircase. Obscurity. Oh, Vincent thought he died in obscurity. Look at the EMF. So what happened was, wow, when I got up to the top of these stairs, man, this is not that easy to walk up them, honestly. I don't know if you can see them on the camera, but this EMF is... So I felt fine. I got up to the top of these stairs yesterday, and suddenly I had to stop it. I had this sharp, knife-like pain in my lower back. And it was so painful and so sudden that it really, really scared me. And wow. And there was no reason for it. Because this is not a... Wow, lots of EMF on those stairs though. No reason for EMF this morning here, because the closest lamplight is over there on that house, which is a beautiful house, I gotta say. So as I was standing here, right here actually, I got that stabbing pain. And so that pain scared me so much because it was so sudden and so painful. Wow, it's getting so much EMF I was getting, not right now, but... So just plain green right here now. Let's walk back to these stairs, see if it changes. So I'm back at the top of the stairs. Oh, a little hit. Yeah, there we go again. Both my hands are full. I got the camera in this hand. I got the EMF in this hand. And I think it was a muscular pain, to be honest with you. And I twisted something, and it just happened to be at that moment that, maybe I turned or twisted and the nerve got... I don't know. I'm trying to make up a reason for that. I have no idea why. But, so when I went back, I started thinking to myself, of things that might be related. I'm turning the EMF right now. Might be related to Van Gogh. So here's the thing. Nobody knows where Van Gogh was shot or where he wounded himself. Nobody knows. So I was thinking, what if... Cold out here this morning. Wow. What if that is where it happened, at the top of those stairs? I mean, it's a direct shot to... no pun intended. It's a direct walk to his inn where he was staying. So it would have been really easy for him. Well, I wouldn't say easy if you're shot. And that's the thing. He was shot in his stomach and the bullet lodged on his spinal cord. So, and that's where my pain was. Right next to my spine, lower spine. Perhaps even where his bullet lodged in his body. So I was thinking maybe that is where Vincent van Gogh wounded himself. And yeah, you get what I'm saying. And it's just a stunning thought. But in all reality, most likely a pinched nerve that I've been carrying this really heavy overarm bag that carries my camera, my batteries, everything. So it's quite heavy. So I'm pretty sure that... Oh, cat across the road. I'm pretty sure that it's from carrying this load for the last 3 days, and it's wearing down my muscles, and it caused probably a muscle spasm. But it's just, and probably just coincidence. But what if it's not? What if that is where Vincent van Gogh wounded himself? What if that's the case? I don't know. Oh. I just felt like somebody was right behind me. I know I just passed a cat, but a kitten. But felt like somebody was right here to my left. Probably my own shadow scared me. Although I don't feel spooked this morning or anything like that. It's the sun's gonna rise again here shortly. But that's a question, you know, because again, I've said this many times. I don't see myself as a medium or anything like that. But sometimes when I feel things in a location, I let my imagination try and picture what I'm feeling. That doesn't mean, and maybe that's what mediums do, but that doesn't mean that I'm right. It just means that I'm trying to make sense of what I'm feeling and the history I know and the current situation. So I put that all together in these mental pictures and I try to relate that to you. I do that in some videos, especially when I really have strong feelings about it. So I'm back at the church. It's a lot different when you're here when it's still nighttime. I mean, sunrise will eventually be coming in about an hour. So there's a little bit of light in the sky, but if you look here, you kind of can get a glimpse now of Vincent's view. Maybe he painted this painting during the nighttime. Because it wouldn't surprise me. If you look at it now and you compare it to the painting, it doesn't have the odd curves in it and the dark spiritual undertones. But being here at night in this light, hopefully this shows on camera the way I'm seeing it with the blue background of the sky. I think it gives a more I don't know the word for it. A more honest view of it if you compare it to his painting, I think. I think most people look at this church during the daytime and they don't look at it at night or in the dark and see what Vincent saw. Something interesting is some believe that Vincent's paintings depict the mathematical formula of turbulence. So what they're saying is that he visualized in his art the mathematical principles of turbulence. Apparently that was a way for him to depict his wild thoughts. But you know, again, we're going into speculation about what Van Gogh was thinking or not thinking. So I think it's really interesting to be out here this morning. I almost don't want to cross this line. That's my phone. I apologize. See where I'm standing? So I'm standing here, and I almost don't want to cross this line into the churchyard. But I'm going to. And I feel like I'm walking now into Van Gogh's world. And now we're in another of Van Gogh's paintings, so to speak. I find it very interesting and very spiritual is the best word. I wanted to say dark, but I don't have that sense. So I have turned on my EMF reader. It's completely green. Oh wow, a few spikes here this morning. I've gotten more spikes this morning than I've gotten anywhere this whole time I've been here. Wow. So another theory is that this town presented a certain energy that Van Gogh found inspirational. I mean, he produced 74 works of art, or 75, some say, in the little over 2 months that he was here. He was highly prolific. He, whether you know, I got to tell you, he started painting when he was 27 years old. Think about that a minute. He started painting when he was 27 years old. He died when he was 37 years old. So that means everything he painted, the over 900 plus works of art, masterpieces, were painted within 10 years. And he wrote over 900 letters in that same period of time. Wow, this is so beautiful this morning. Who could not be inspired? Okay, paranormal travelers, I'm now in the cemetery and it's sundown. And I want to ask Vincent a few questions here. I don't know of any apparition sightings here in the cemetery itself, but I'm going to take this opportunity to ask a few questions and try a EVP here. And here's his grave. Vincent and his brother Theo. They were very, very close. In fact, Theo died in Utrecht and he was buried in Utrecht, and then his widow decided that he was so close to his brother, that they loved each other so much, that she had his remains sent here to be buried next to Van Gogh. Okay, I just heard a bell. I don't know where that came from. But what I'm going to do is, first of all, I was here earlier and I did base readings for my EMF reader, and it was literally just green as it is now. No readings whatsoever. But I didn't get close to Van Gogh, so I want to get closer and see if there are any readings here by his grave. Vincent, are you here? Can you hear me? So still just no EMF here whatsoever. It makes me wonder if his spirit remains here in the cemetery, which I don't know. I hope not. And no EMF at all. I'm going to put the EMF reader right there. As you can see it's right there, right on top of his grave right now. So Vincent, if you're here, could you touch the green light and show that you're here? Is that possible for you? There is no indication whatsoever. Vincent, are you here? Can you say your name into the orange light? Okay, so I'm going to listen back to the EVP, see if we got anything at all. I walked away. Okay, so let's see. Vincent, are you here? No way. this. I just heard something that was just absolutely incredible. I have to listen to it back. There's no way. Absolutely no way. Let's listen back. Okay, I gotta listen to it one more time.
Are you here?
Okay, that's crazy. I'm gonna have to listen to that at home on my computer to see if I mean, to me, that's undoubtable. I heard Vincent in a whisper, but it didn't sound like a male's voice. It sounded like a female's voice. So, and I walked away. I was just walking as I was listening, so I'm coming back over here. And, wow, I want to do another EMF reading now that I'm over here. So the sun's going down, and I want to see. It's hitting green a little bit, but not really that much. The base reading earlier was nothing but green. I gotta be honest with you, I'm still kind of in shock that I may have gotten that on an EVP. Oh, was that your voice I heard? Can you light it up? If that was your voice, if that was you? If it wasn't you, can you light it up? Theo, are you here? Or Vincent? Oh! Wow. So when I said Vincent's name, it went to green. But when I said Theo's name, it didn't do it. Let me try again. Theo, are you here? Vincent, are you here? Okay, nothing that time. Okay, so I want to just show you the cemetery itself a little bit, the whole thing.
South.
South. Are you telling me to look south? So that's it's not a huge cemetery, and I believe they swap graves over a certain number of years, but I can pretty much guarantee you Vincent and Theo's grave will never be swapped. Okay, so I'm leaving the cemetery. Look, the sun is going down. How beautiful is that? That's sundown. Its red glow is in the sky, and wow, how incredible is that? There's a vehicle coming up. Wow. So here's the thing. Sun is going down, but right over there is where Vincent painted his last painting ever. But I'm going to take you over to where he painted as the sun is going down here in France. It's kind of fitting, really, if you think about it, that the sun's going down there, and just right over there was Vincent van Gogh's last days here on Earth.
Whispers in the dark, secrets untold, through haunted forests, castles old, from shadows deep, the mystery calls.